Hello, super sales girls. Here we are, session 5. Can you believe it? You're going to be so glad that you are with us here today because after this session, you, gosh, I'm not even going to tell you what you're going to be doing, but I have a really strong feeling that you are going to be so excited to get out and start taking even more action. That's our first fill in the blank for today. It is that super sales girls are women of action. We've all heard the saying that knowledge is power. However, knowledge is useless if we don't do anything with it. The only way knowledge becomes power is if we take action on it and we learn from it and we grow in it and we own that knowledge. And that's what we're going to really focus on today. We've covered a lot of material up to this point. And the way that you retain is through repetition. Boy, I said that slow. The way you retain is through repetition. I encourage you to go back through all of your videos that you have and rewatch them multiple times. Now, I've heard great feedback on takeaways that people have and how much they're learning, but the true test is that you actually take it and you apply it and you do it over and over and over again. That's how you become a professional. We've had that discussion about amateur versus professional. Remember, the amateur watches it once and says, hey, this is great, I got a lot out of it. The professional watches it multiple times. The professional goes back and reviews your notes. Now you might be sitting there thinking, oh gosh, I haven't done that. I haven't thought about it. Okay, no problem. That's why we have our rules of the game, right? Which is GDP. Go ahead and dust yourself off and press reset. Today's a great day to go back and review what you've already learned. Review the things that you'd said that you wanted to do that you just haven't done yet. You can start doing it now. So that professional versus amateur, to get to that professional level, does take that commitment that you've got in order to improve your knowledge and then take action on it. I want to share with you a quick formula that I developed in working with so many people. And it is this, that most of the time, everybody comes to me, well, not most, all of the time, people come with me because they want to change their results, right? So I've got that in red. They want to change results. They want to see bigger sales. They want to see their business grow. They want to have better conversations. They want to feel more accomplished. They want to get more done. They want to grow in their mental powers. Okay, so if we want to get results, though, we can't just hope for results. That's drinking the hopium, and it's not going to change. That's just a dream and a wish. We've got to actually do something about it. And there are two ways that you can change results. You might be on one side or the other, so I'm going to share with you both formulas because each day is different, right? Every day we've got to figure out how do we change results. So a lot of times people say, I want to change my thoughts first, right? I need to have that confidence and I need to believe in myself before I can change my actions. And then once actions are changed, then the results will change. So some people feel the need to do I am statements. Sometimes they'll need to have a conversation with someone else to get them pumped up in order to make this phone call, to make a great show, to start practicing what they're going to say in a show, right? First, they've got to believe, all right, it needs to be better than what it is. And how is it going to be better? Right now I'm ready to take action and practice it. So sometimes you're going to be in a place where you say, I need to change my thoughts first. That's all right. There are other times when you are going to feel a little bit more urgency, or you might be in a spot where you're ready to take action. Like you're done thinking about it. You just want to take action. And Mel Robbins' 5-second rule is great for this, right? Take the action first, and then you're going to see the result change. And then your thoughts are going to change because you got a different result, right? If you're nervous to ask for somebody's credit card at the end of a show, you know you need to do it, and you're thinking, do I do it? And you just ask, hey, well, do you want me to put that, what credit card do you want me to put that on today? And they give it to you, and they don't even hesitate. Your result now is that the sale moves forward very fast. Now your thoughts can change with, you know what? It's really easy to ask for the credit card in order to get the sale closed and move forward. So wherever you are, whether you're in a spot of you need to change your thoughts or you need to change your action, either one's okay. Understand though that the action point is needed in order to change results, right? You can't just change your thoughts and then change your actions. Or I'm sorry, you can't just change your thoughts and then change your result. The action is necessary, and super sales girls are women of action. All right, let's get into our 5 points that we have today. So regardless of where you've come from, you have an opinion about sales and about sales professionals. Some of them are positive and some of them are most likely negative. However, I want you to take those and put them to the side, because when we're talking about what you're doing, in order to be a professional, we have to take those negative ones that we've seen of others or that we didn't like and kind of rewrite the whole story. We have to rewrite our story, because often if people have had negative experience with a salesperson, they say, oh, they were pushy. So therefore we say, we don't want to be pushy, so we're not going to continue reaching out to people. I want to make our first number 1 point today though, and that is that clients don't make sales. The super sales girl or the professional salesperson makes the sale. Nothing happens in this entire world until a sale happens. Simply talking to people is nice, but until a sale happens, there is no business that's transacted. That's why it's important for you to understand that you are the catalyst, you are the action to closing, moving a sale forward. The exchange of money is when the value really has happened. So don't count on your clients to continually come to you and say, hey, I'm ready to buy. It will be up to you to go out, take that action, and make sure that sales are closing. Okay, so number 1, I just want you to make sure that it is the professional salesperson that makes sales happen. It's not the client that makes the sales happen. All right, number 2, there is a difference between marketing versus selling. Marketing versus selling. If you see billboards up, that's marketing. You see an email come through from somebody, that's marketing. Marketing is all about awareness, letting you know that that product is there, ready for you when you are ready for it. Think of how many times you've seen a message come through that you might not have taken action on. And then finally, the timing's right and you take action on it. This is important because as you are reaching out to people, you're making phone calls, you're sending emails, which all should be different, and you should vary the message and vary the reason why you're calling. If somebody doesn't call you back though, it doesn't mean that they don't like you. The timing wasn't right for them, and that's okay. Massive marketing is going to translate then into sales. Sales happens once an interaction's going on. So once somebody raises their hand because they've seen marketing, you've sent an email, you've called them, you've sent them a text, and they say, hey, yes, I'd like to do, or I'd like to buy, or I'd like to find out more about. Now you're moving into sales. So there is a difference. And why it's important is because a lot of times people will say, well, Tiffany, I sent out 10 emails. 10. I called 10 people. 10. You need to make it 100 people. Massive action, right? Massive action. Remember this, action equals results. But you need that massive action in order to get results, especially if you're somebody who's doing this part-time. And you might think, well, Tiffany, I'm doing it part-time. I don't have time for it. I understand we're going to talk about that a little bit here at the end. However, it's important that you take enough action in order to see the results that you want to see. Listen, if you want to get into shape, one workout a month is not going to do it. If you want to have a business that is growing and thriving, paying attention to this business once a month is not going to do it. And it's really unrealistic for us to expect that, right? It's unrealistic to think if I work out once a month that I'm going to be in great shape. It's unrealistic to think if I eat healthy once a month, I'm going to lower my cholesterol. See, we understand that in other areas of our lives, and it's important to apply that as well to our sales. So massive ways to reach out. Now you may be saying, what do I say? I don't know what to say. Hey, that's what we're going to do. We're going to push pause, discuss with your group now about how do I reach out to somebody? How do I reach out to somebody 5 times over the next 5 weeks? Once a week with a different message. Be creative. Remember, the true selling The true power of the super sales girl is that it is unique to you. You've got to use that uniqueness when you're connecting with these people. Hey, I thought of you. I know you have this in your favorites, or I know you bought this piece. Saw this dress. I think it would look great on you. How fun is it to have a stylist who is going to help me look great and has my best interest at heart? That's what needs to be communicated when you're reaching out. So go ahead and talk about the different ways that you can do, quote, marketing. Those are your reach outs. So go ahead and discuss that. Okay, number 3. It's extremely important if anybody right now is saying, well, gosh, I've tapped out. I've talked to all the people that I had on my list and I worked it. Now you may or may not. I might disagree with you there if you've truly worked it as much as you possibly can. But if you feel like, hey, I've worked it, now what? Great question. This is not the time to stop and say, oh, season's over. This is the time to start building your network in order to lead into a fantastic spring. That means that you've got time to start laying the groundwork, planting the seeds, building relationships, meeting new people, so that come spring, you've already got more shows booked than you ever have in your entire Cabby life. All right, so how do you do that? I want you to set your RAS. I believe we've talked about that, your reticular activating system. That's that little internal, it's part of your brain, and it literally is your internal GPS, where if you set your mind that you want to find something, you'll start to find it. All right, if you've ever been pregnant, probably never saw, a lot of pregnant women before until you either wanted to get pregnant or now everywhere you walked, everywhere you went, you always were seeing women who were pregnant. If you bought a new car, right, you never saw that car on the road, and as soon as you decided you wanted to buy a black GMC, they were everywhere. It's fascinating how your RAS can be set. So here's where I want you to set your RAS. It's to find women who are interested in fashion. Think of that. Now, this would be changed. This would qualify for changing a thought, right? You want to change your thought to see all the opportunity there is for women who love fashion. They're everywhere. You walk into the store, you walk in to run errands, you walk into the post office. When you're out and about, it doesn't have to be in your normal, necessarily a marketing or networking event. It can be anywhere. Women are everywhere. At church, look around. We're going to talk about what to talk about. But here's your big takeaway is to set your RAS to finding women who love fashion just as much as you do. But we want you to start looking how to build your network. You need to be where women need to dress. You need to be where women need to dress because women are everywhere. Again, you may go, Timmy, I don't know where to go. All right, so I'm going to give you some quick tips. You probably get community magazines and community newspapers. There are a lot of networking events. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to a chamber event, but go to something for realtors. There are things just for interior designers. There are events for professional women. You might have to pay $25 to go to a lunch. Okay, pay that $25. You got to eat lunch anyways, and you need to be seen. This business is all about people knowing you exist. You need to be seen. So it's important to go to events. Now, some people might say, hey, I'm busy. I can't do too much. Okay. Set your RAS when you're shopping. Look cute. See what conversations you can start there. And then look maybe for one event or two events once a month. If you go to meetup.com, you can look in your specific area and you'll find a lot of events going on. So look for those events. Think, do women need to look good who go to these events? Then go. And then start talking to people. So you can push pause quickly, talk about other places that you might find, other events or other places where you can find women who need to dress. Okay, into number 4. And these are conversation starters / continuers. Because sometimes a conversation can just go bust and there's there's nothing else to say. So I want to make sure that you are clear on how to continue a conversation with somebody that you've just met that might be interested in Cabby Close. One of the things I definitely want you to discuss, and I know your leaders are really good at this. What if someone gives you a compliment, right? You're in the grocery store and someone goes, gosh, that shirt is so cute, or you look great, or I love that necklace, or I love that necklace, whatever it is. Go ahead and push pause. What do you say next when they say, I love that article of clothing? What do you say? Go ahead and talk about that. Okay, so the other one is, if somebody asks you, what do you do? Let's say you have a full-time job and you're doing Cabby for our example here. This is an example, but again, in your group, work through it. You could say something like this, that somebody says, what do? You say, well, I'm an accountant by day, but my side gig is I am a fashion stylist. Do you work with one? Notice what I did. I finished it up with a question. If all I do is I say, I'm an accountant by day, and then my side gig, my real passion job is I'm a fashion stylist, and it ends there, the other person sometimes doesn't know what to say or where to take the conversation. So you want to ask, do you work with one? Or have you ever worked with one? Most of the time you're going to hear, no, I've never worked with one. Now you've got a chance to ask them, well, gosh, have you ever looked in your closet and felt like I have nothing to wear? Most people are going to say, oh my gosh, yes, I've felt that way. Well, that is one of the reasons why I work with women, is so that they can build a closet that they walk into and they think, what do I want to wear? Instead of, I have nothing to wear. And then I also help people to build a wardrobe, whether it's professional or it's the busy mom that's around. I'm curious, which side do you fall on? Again, you give a little bit of education and then you ask a question. So we'll push pause, talk about those. This is where you need to take action and practice. Okay. The thoughts are, we're thinking through it. Then we need to take action and practice so that you can go out and have these conversations. Life happens one conversation at a time. And there are so many opportunities for you to move conversations forward if you know how to do it. So that's what we're all about right here, making sure you super sales girls know how to do it. All right, go ahead and work on that. Okay, so we're going to wrap up with number 5. And there are a few words that you can use to fill in the blanks here. So I'm going to start off with, great ideas need consistent action. Consistent action. You walk away from these sessions with a lot of ideas. The follow-up is what's important. And that's why I have the picture of the follow-up truck on this handout. So go ahead and take a second or two and stare at that. And this is from my book, You're Leading Now. And I use visuals in there because we are visual creatures. That's why video has become so popular. But the follow-up, you got to get on that follow-up truck if you want to see the results in your business. And follow-up means consistency. Now, some other ways that you can fill in the blank here is that great lives need consistent action. Great relationships need consistent action. Great results need consistent action. You could probably go on and on. But we realize that anything worthwhile, anything worth working towards, anything that we're going to be proud of when we look back on it, it's going to be because we took consistent action on it. And we dug in deep. We used our grit. We worked hard, even when things seemed hard, or things seemed bad, or it wasn't going exactly the way we wanted it to go, or it didn't go the way we expected it to go. I encourage you to let go of expectations and focus on your consistent action, because the more action you take, the more results you're going to see. But remember, these don't change without the action in front of us, So your takeaway for today, I hope, is that you write down an action plan. And really, I should call it a proactive action plan, because sales don't happen in a reactionary manner with positive growth. They can, but you're not going to get a lot of growth. You have to be, and you should want to be, very proactive, because if you're proactive, you're taking the initiative, you're taking control, you put that cape on to go out and make things happen. So super sales girls, this session is all about action in selling and redefining what selling means, because selling is proactive. It's being proactive to reach out to your clients, consistently with new ideas, being fresh, having fun with it. So let's make this month amazing. Obviously, I love my clothes, and I know all the other women out there that you come in contact do as well. Can't wait to hear what happens next. And when you take this action, I 100% guarantee you're going to say, I'm glad I did. Until next time.